Welcome to another episode of the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host, Hayden Haynes, and join me, as always, is Seth Killen and Cody Hart. We're back, boys, from our little bye week that
Yo,
we had.
Yeah.
yep. Hurricane Milton about took
Er,
us all out.
Sometimes, it's just better to be safe than sorry, and that's what we were. We had to
That
go
is
on a little
true.
bye. Sorry, everybody,
We
but
did. It
our
was our
opponent,
bye week.
our opponent that week was Mr. Milton. So,
Mr.
Yeah,
Milton.
we had to take a little break.
and we were throwing punches. It was a heavyweight fight right there. We're good. We're back. We're locked
We're
in,
here.
and this is episode 19. So we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in as always, and we're excited to talk about last week's slate of games as far as college football week 7, and then NFL week 6, and then we're obviously going to preview this huge week of college football for week 8 and week 7 of
Huge.
NFL.
Huge week.
We are gonna quickly, because we missed that. I guess we missed week 6 of college football to predict, which was absolutely we missed week 7 to predict and recap week 6, but it was absolutely electric. We're gonna go in and quickly run through the biggest storylines of that week, and let's just say it was the craziest week of college football ever, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say low key these guys took a bye week because Bama took that L.
No.
Oh,
That ain't that. We're gonna
yeah.
talk
Only
about the
called
Bama
him
now.
out.
We're gonna talk about the Bama. What about Auburn? What about Auburn? How are they doing?
Where Auburn at?
We've been asked, man.
All right.
We've
Me and
been
Cody.
asked.
We and Cody can take the L, man. We're all right. We've been taking
Okay.
L's.
Yeah, we're
Alabama's.
blind. We're
Out,
blind.
Hey.
people forget that Bama's had 2 L's every year since 2021. So we're all right.
Okay.
Clark Lee.
Y'all are
good
learning.
coach. That's a
Y'all
good
are
Vandy
learning.
team, all right? Diego Pavia, he's a beast.
We're gonna touch on
We
Vanderbilt
couldn't
a little
stop it.
bit. Vanderbilt actually is a good team, like Cody said, and they just had a good win on the road against Kentucky. So, shout out to the Commodores. They're clearly not the old Vandy. And I think one thing we're going to touch on in this whole, conversation on college football is how the landscape of football is now like pretty fair. I would say the NIL and transfer portal has made things very, very, very competitive. So now you don't see a bunch of blowouts. You're seeing Georgia, Mississippi State in a tight one, 41-31 this past week. Bama, South Carolina's 27-25. Even Tennessee was supposed to handle Florida, went to OT. I mean, they got it done, but look, I'm just telling you right now, in the SEC with the NIL stuff, it's pretty much everybody can win any given week.
Everybody can win.
Even Cody, remember when Texas was favored by like 37 against Mississippi State? We
Yeah.
took that and we put it down to 31, thinking we'll be safe, right? Well, they
Yeah.
kind of were in a little bit of a struggle, nothing crazy, but they didn't win by 30 something. So to say all that, let's jump in. Obviously, week 7 recap. Bama, that was in the 12 o'clock game for Central folks. So 11 o'clock kickoff for Alabama time, 12 o'clock for us Eastern folks. So it was an early start. Bama did start out 14-0. Looked like they were going to maybe have a good bounce back against, South Carolina after losing to Vandy. And then obviously before halftime, Alabama led up a 4th and I believe 19 touchdown. And that kind of started the comeback for South Carolina. And so before that, it was looking like Alabama might get the stop on defense and go down and get up by 3 scores. And pretty much the game would have been, you'd think over in that regard. But to say the least, it was 14-7 after that touchdown strike by South Carolina. And then immediately after that, with about a minute and a half or so, or a couple minutes left, Jalen Milroe tries to scramble after getting immediate pressure, and he gets taken down almost in the end zone. So he throws the ball away, and it's an intentional grounding, automatic safety. So at that point, it was
crazy.
It was 9 points in about 9 seconds of game time, which was terrible. So you went from being up 14-0 to 14-9, and also it could have been honestly 21 or 17-0 at half. But that way it was 14-9. And then since it was a safety, South Carolina got the ball back. What do? They go down the field and they, quickly get a field goal. So it's 14-12 just like that. So you're talking about a huge swing of points, in that game, and it just changed literally everything. So after that, just to quickly finish up, there was a lot of stuff. So we're going to try to fly through these. But basically, South Carolina fought. At one point, they took the lead, and then Alabama finally took it over, went up by 1, 20-19. So you're thinking, okay, like Alabama's got some momentum. Then later in the game, it was a pretty crucial drive for Alabama. They were milking the clock, but they knew that they had to score to extend the lead. And they did. They did that on a about 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, if I can remember correctly. And they hit Jeremy Bernard on a little deep cross, pretty wide open, busted coverage, I guess. And Alabama scored to go up 27-19. After that, Cody, South Carolina goes down and scores a touchdown, goes up, or it's 27-25 at that point. They go for 2, they don't get it, which was crazy big for Alabama because it would have been a tie game. So,
Huge.
what does Frank Beamer and his dad, what are they known for, Cody? What kind of ball do they love to play?
That Beamer ball.
That Beamer ball, and it came to bite Bama in the ass. And I told
Dude.
Logan watching the game, I said, I guarantee you right now, they're going to get this onside kick because that's what
Yep.
they're known to do. They're known for special teams. They're known to block punts. They're known to, get onside kicks in crucial situations. And Alabama had fullbacks and lot tight ends on the hands team. You need Ryan Williams. You need Jeremy Bernard. You need every wide
need the
receiver
hands
known
out
to
there.
man.
Need the hands.
You got
Need the
45
hands.
Robbie Oots out there trying to dive on the ball. It's slipping around. He can't get it. They go grab it, and it's like, holy crap, man! It's about to be a late dagger by South Carolina because all they needed was a field goal, right?
Yep.
So in that situation, Alabama is playing, pretty conservative. They don't want to give up any chunk play, so they got a interception to basically seal out the game, and they won 27-25. But obviously, it's just not ideal. I will say credit to South Carolina. They have one of the best D-lines in the country.
They
They're
do.
playing really well. And Sellers is good, man. We know Sellers, Nick Harbor, Rocket Sanders, all those guys are good players. So they fought, and shout out Frank Beamer. But Bama escapes. Moving, or you want to touch on anything real quick? I just want to, make sure we're just hitting everything we need to.
I think me and you both talked about the South Carolina team. I mean, coming in, they're scared. Like, they're good. Like, they're sneaky good. Like, Beamer ball is in true effect right now. Like, that defensive line of theirs is insane. Like, we couldn't stop them. We couldn't. They were always in the backfield,
Yeah.
and it was insane.
Alabama did
But
a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties. I think
that's
they're
what I'm saying.
119th in penalties, and there's only like 100, some teams in the country, 128, I think, but I could be wrong. Also, what I was gonna say is Lenore Sellers played a solid game. He had a couple of he had a turnover. I believe it was that one where he kind of spun backwards and was trying to get rid of it. Besides that, he was pretty solid. I mean, the thing is, essentially, South Carolina had a chance to beat LSU at home. We talked about that game a few weeks ago, how that was a little sketchy, as far as the calls that happened and the outcome of that game. It seemed like South Carolina should have won it. So we're looking at a South Carolina team that could have won against LSU, who's top 10, who had injuries to Lenore Sellers and other guys, and they got blown out by Ole Miss last week. But it's like there's context around their 3-3 record. They're not as mediocre as their record is, So
No, they're not.
To say all that, I'm not giving excuses to Alabama, but I think we're getting throughout the season, we're going to see how, like we're talking about, the SEC is competitive. Vanderbilt's 4-2, but really, could have beat Missouri in overtime. Like they could be 5-1. They could have beat Georgia State, but they lost on like the last drive of the game. Like it's just random. Football has just been crazy, and it's just showing you, like we said, NIL and the transfer portal has made everything very interesting. So. But moving on, just to keep going, not going to make this a Bama show. Texas just blows out Oklahoma. I think we're finding out that Oklahoma is super beat up and they are struggling at quarterback, which we know. And Texas is a good team. They got Quinn Ewers back. They obviously have a big matchup against Georgia this week. We're going to talk about that. But this is where we're going to get into the craziness of all the other games. Okay. In the middle of the day, we had Penn State in a Big Ten matchup on the road at USC. USC, Cody, was pretty good against LSU to start the year. They won that game. They almost beat Michigan on the road. They fought hard. They could have won at the end, but they didn't. And then they lost last week. They lost to Wisconsin. So USC needed this win against Penn State. Now, USC was up 20-6 at halftime.
20-6.
Drew Aller started slinging that rock, and the tight end, 44, had 17 catches, 100-plus yards, a Moss Tutty, looking like the greatest tight end, looking like Dallas Clark, prime Dallas Clark, wearing that 44. Like, it was a masterclass by that dude. And Drew Aller had a big game, and they led him to a comeback, and they go to OT. Penn State gets the win 33-30. Any thoughts on Penn State and USC?
Oh no, it was a competitive game. Like I thought USC had it at first when they went up by 20. Yeah. I was like, this could be wraps.
because we were talking about Penn State being a little fraudulent.
Yeah. I mean, have never been as big on Drew Aller. Like I know he's a good quarterback, but he's never been shown that passing up until like really this year,
Yeah,
And so, I mean, they looked kind of dead in the water in that first half, but then they really turned it on in the second half and
yeah.
came back and won an OT. It was a great game. Like it was a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I
And
mean, he had 300. Drew Aller had 391 yards, but
yeah,
he had 3 interceptions, 2 tutties. Like this is where we're like, we
this
see
is where we're
we
like,
see the flashes of like a mini Josh Allen because of the
yeah,
size and the ability, and the yards are there. He's got a couple of key plays in the game, but three turnovers really set them back. But it's okay; they got the win. Now Tyler Warren was the tight end. I just want to run through his stats: 17 catches, 224 yards, and a touchdown.
224.
Mm,
224, 17 catches in a tutty. That's like
I need that in fantasy.
that's literally some tight end stat line for the season.
literally.
Like
That's
some tight ends that don't get a lot of like just because the scheme or whatever they're in. But like
Yeah.
this dude, oh my gosh. So they get the win. Big dub for Penn State. They're undefeated and they're what, number 3 in the country now or something? Four, number
believe so.
four. Number four.
4.
So moving on, another crazy battle in OT. Tennessee beats Florida 23-17. Started out Tennessee back-to-back weeks. That high power offense that we thought against Arkansas in the first half and against Florida in the first half got shut out. So they come back. Florida played a 2 quarterback system, and Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway. They played pretty solid. They could not convert in the red zone. Florida had a couple of times where they had to kick a field goal or they turned the ball over on downs or just what turned it over in general, whatever it might have been. So Florida could never really pull away. They were up in that game early and they had a chance to go
Yeah.
up 10-0, 14-0, whatever it was. And they just couldn't do it. So they let Tennessee come back. Dylan Sampson, obviously for Tennessee, has been one of the best backs in the country. Had another 100+ yard game, couple tutties, I believe, sealed it in OT. So I mean, Tennessee, the story about them right now is that they have looked bad in 2 straight games, just like Alabama. They can't get it going on offense. They can run the ball, but Nico's having troubles. He's missing open shots. He's just not playing like we thought he would be playing in the SEC so far. Now he could totally flip a switch and go crazy because he's got that dual threat ability, and we know that he's a threat and he's a young quarterback with a lot of potential. But do you see any real concerns for Tennessee right now?
Of course. I mean, I'm always going to be worried about Nico. Like he's a beast, but I'm worried about that run game and Dylan Sampson.
Yeah,
That's who I'm worried about.
yeah,
If we can't stop that run game, we're going to get beat easily. We got to stop the run. If we can stop the run and hold them, I think it's going to be a close game regardless.
yeah.
But that's like the key factor. We have to stop the run. We got to make them pass.
Dylan Sampson has 15 rushing touchdowns on the season.
My point exactly. We cannot let him
Seth,
get one.
did you hear that? The Tennessee running back, Dylan Sampson, has 15 rushing touchdowns already. And it's
Huh?
15 rushing touchdowns. And
15 rushing tutties.
and they play like 6 games, dude. I mean, he's a problem. And they have Squirrel White. His name is Squirrel, the wide receiver, and he's getting all the main targets. But they got a strong defense, Cody. I'm worried about Alabama's offensive line after they've been playing pretty poor the last couple of weeks. So that will be something we got to talk about once we touch on that preview. But moving on, Oregon, another insane battle. This was the college game day game. Oregon does get the dub at home versus Ohio State, 32-31. Essentially back and forth game. Wasn't ever a game where it was like one-sided. Great football, peak football. I think they had 10.5 million viewers that watched the game. So I mean, it was a great game for college football fans. And essentially, at the end of the game, Ohio State was driving. Now, something crazy happened. Okay, 2 things. First thing, it was a absolute just freaking genius play by Dan Lanning in Oregon.
Yep.
They did something crazy. All right, so let's just say the ball's at the 45. Not Ohio State's 45, but Oregon's 45, just across midfield.
Mm-hmm.
They're in need of a field goal, right, to win the game. They have I believe a timeout at this point. Ohio State does. Now Oregon does something crazy. They decided to purposefully throw an extra defender on the field to have 12 men on the field, knowing it would give them a penalty. But they did it because they wanted to have an extra guy on the field to stop any kind of, chunk play or any kind of play that would give Ohio State the ball in field goal range. So they essentially said, we're going to trade a 5-yard penalty for an extra defender because we don't want anything more than 5 yards, because we feel like if they get anything more than 5 yards, they're going to be in field goal range. So they run the play, a few seconds go off. It's an incomplete pass. They call the flag, 5-yard penalty. They move up a little bit, but Ohio State still needs to get yards. They still have a timeout. They still have a few seconds on the clock, but they had enough time to run a play and, get out of bounds or get down, call a timeout, or throw the ball away. Either one of those options would have been fine for Ohio State. What does Will Howard do? Will Howard, the quarterback of Ohio State, who played a great game, by the way. Everybody played great on offense on both teams. Electric game. This is college football, like 25 kind of game.
Yep.
Will Howard runs up the middle. There's 7 or 6 seconds on the clock. Runs up the middle after scanning for like a second or two. Gets about, what, Cody, 10 yards? And slides down, and there's no time on the clock.
Dude, I feel like he shouldn't have even scanned. He should have just automatically know that he was going to run this ball.
You should have said, bro, I'm getting 5 more yards minimum, and I'm sliding down.
And
we call a timeout. We kick the game winner.
Dude,
this is crazy.
I feel like his field goal kicker probably could have kicked it where they were.
It's a long one.
I mean, he was like on the 40, 45.
I mean, it would have been like
between there.
It would have probably been like a 57 to 60-yard kick. But like, if he got a few yards and slid, then you're talking about 50, 52. Like maybe he hits it.
That's unreal.
But they lose.
Man sold the bag.
Something we did talk about early on, like before we started the season, Cody. I think we kind of predicted this. We predicted Oregon would probably win, but Ohio State would meet them again in the Big Ten championship and beat them.
I think that's exactly what's about to happen.
Because I do think they are a little bit better. So, crazy game. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about for Week 7 of college football is another game that went to the wire. LSU beats Ole Miss 29-26 after a Kyron Lacey touchdown from Nussmeier, the quarterback, at the end of the game. So
that's a crazy game.
Any thoughts on that? I mean, basically it was back and forth the whole game. Ole Miss kind of thought they blew it. I think Jackson Dart, the quarterback at the end in the press conference, was like, how do we lose? How do we lose that game? They've lost 2 in a row now. Their season is pretty much cooked. Like he said, we have to win out. So
they got to. They can't. If they lose another one, they're done.
And they still got to play Georgia. I mean, it's in Ole Miss, but that's a big game. That's their season right there.
That's your season. You got to beat Georgia.
But it's hard to win at Death Valley at night, So.
I mean, I hate going to Death Valley.
And Alabama's got to go to Tennessee and LSU. So I mean,
I know
it's not an easy schedule, man. The SEC is brutal this year.
Brutal.
And you're seeing, Nussmeier's cooking a little bit. I mean, he was like 50% completion percentage. He needs to get better at being accurate, but he's got some dog in him. He's got a good pocket awareness. He's moving well in the pocket. He's making some key throws. You got Kyron Lacey,
playmakers,
Aaron Anderson. The run game's a little iffy at times. The defense can be better. I mean, it is what it is. They're playing fine. I think LSU is a good team. So yeah, let's talk about college football Week 8 now. We're going to just go through the biggest games we want to talk about. Starting with, obviously, there's going to be College Game Day, Georgia and Texas. Now, I believe it's a 3.5-point favorite for Texas, at the moment. Does anybody want to just say that they're confident in that Texas to cover the spread? Or are you feeling like Georgia's going to cover? Or do you feel like Georgia's winning outright? Or what do you think?
I think Texas blowing them out the water.
Wow.
Low key by like at least 3 tutties.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, I feel like if they play like they did against Alabama, I mean, they're getting smoked.
Well, right now, I mean, Texas is definitely the best team in the country.
Yeah.
They have the best offense for sure. One thing I'll say is that Georgia's probably the most battle tested, right? Like they went to Alabama,
That's true.
They came back. They also played at Kentucky. They somehow won. But that's
Dude.
it. I mean, the only thing Texas has done is played at Michigan, who did not have a quarterback. Obviously, they changed quarterbacks after that game. So Texas hasn't played anybody. Texas has played Oklahoma last week, who doesn't have a quarterback either. They're beat up. The wide receivers are all hurt. So do we think that's a little sign of, maybe Texas is a little fraudulent or no? Because I know Seth just doesn't agree with that, obviously. But Cody, do you think Texas is going to win this game?
I do. I think Texas. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be just like how possibly the Ohio State Oregon game was last
Yeah.
week. I
Yeah.
think this game is going to be a crazy game, but I still like Texas a little bit more offensively, and defenses can go both ways.
Yeah.
But I just like that offense a little bit better on Texas. Like they're just able to score at will. Just
Well, Georgia, just gave up 300 yards to Mississippi State's quarterback, who just
yep,
started like his second or third game, and I just think, I mean, they gave up 31 points. Like, that's Mississippi State. They're the worst team in the SEC. Georgia obviously got torched by Bama a little bit. They've been looking rough, man. Like, it's not like the Georgia teams that we're accustomed to, and they've already been like, the fans are accepting like they don't have the depth that they used to. We said that to Brett. We said Georgia
yeah,
doesn't are the depth. Like, are you worried about that? He wasn't worried. Well, Alabama got out 28-0. Like, I think Alabama would have won the game by more, like we talked about. And I know Alabama has played not great after that, but this is just, we're talking about specifically Georgia and what we see. And Carson Beck has looked rough against big teams, right? On the
Big
road.
teams, yeah.
He's a little bit turnover prone. I mean, he's got some things to clean up. He makes some hell of a throw sometimes, but it's like he's not gonna kill you with his legs. Texas has got the athletes, they got the recruits. Give me Texas to win this game. And I honestly
yeah.
think that Texas will cover this. I think they win
I do
by
too.
4 to 7 points. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think maybe Georgia cuts it like close late, but I do think Texas could get up by 2 scores, and it could be like a game that they control a little bit. But I just don't have faith in Georgia's corners. I think they're good at safety. I don't think they're good at corner. They don't have depth, and I don't love their wide receivers. I think they're good, but they're not great.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said, I really like Texas in this game. I think better offensively, and like you said, Carson Beck he's a little. I mean, hasn't looked good at times, especially against these better teams going up against. And I mean, he even struggled against Kentucky, but
Right, right, and they just lost to Vanderbilt. So, but shout out
exactly.
Vanderbilt, like we said. So yeah, right now. Oh, okay. Sir. Currently,
Hmm.
we're gonna have to backtrack a little bit. It opened -3.5. It is now going up to -5.
Wow.
So we got some people betting on betting it up. So I mean, I think this is more, showing like we're all in the same kind of vibe of like Texas should win this game. Like they should be able to win by a tutty. They should be able to win
No
by,
offense, Brett.
yeah, no offense. Sorry.
We
No
love you,
offense,
Brett.
but
But we predicted, Cody, that Georgia would lose to Bama and Texas. Like this is what we
yeah,
thought. We thought we got to stick to it. So,
yeah.
moving on. Bit of big gap, big game, big atmosphere, big playoff implications.
Huge game.
Huge for Georgia. Huge because they still got to play Tennessee and Ole Miss.
They got to
Georgia's,
win.
Georgia's losing 2 games this year. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But do they lose? But I mean, they
they could
lost to
lose
Bama. If they're gonna lose this, they
3.
got to beat Tennessee and Ole Miss,
They
man.
got to beat.
That's
I
gonna
think
be
I
tough.
think they will beat Tennessee, and I do think they can beat Ole Miss. But it's on the road, so I mean, we'll see about that one.
That Ole Miss game's scary.
They'll beat Tennessee because it's in Georgia. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, another big matchup is obviously Alabama Tennessee. Real quick, we're just going to touch on that. I know we kind of already did, but what are your thoughts, Cody? And I mean, I know we mentioned we're scared of the run game, Dylan Sampson. We know Nico's been struggling. Me personally, I'm just going to throw my 2 cents out there. I think that Alabama has to get pressure on Nico. I do think Alabama's D line is creating a lot of pressure. I saw LT Overton's like pressure rate last week was ridiculous against South Carolina. He had like 9 pressures. Now Alabama's got to start getting the sacks. Like no diddy, they got to get the sack.
Got
So
to.
They gotta get a sack.
you got to. You got to be able to tackle the quarterback. So and tackling in general has been horrible. So you do
Yeah.
those 2 things. Alabama's offense is explosive. They're getting big sleeper, huge thing in this game is Alabama's getting 2 starting wide receivers back, Kendrick Law and Kobe Prentice, who's been out. So massive, massive, massive. I think Alabama's offense will be able to score. I don't think it's going to be like up and down the field, but because Tennessee's respectable on defense. They got a really good front. They're tough. Alabama's been struggling at times, but I do think Alabama will be able to score. I do think Alabama wins, but I think it's a close battle, man. It's just tough to play in Neyland Stadium.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a crazy game in Neyland. Like, I'm nervous about this game. That atmosphere is going to be through the roof, man. Like, that place is going to be jumping. But I think we go in there and we pull out a dub. I think it's going to be really close. Like I said, we got to stop the run game. We can't let Nico start carving us up. We got to get pressure on him and make him uncomfortable. We got to just play smart on offense, limit the turnovers,
Limit the
especially
penalties.
limit the penalties.
Yeah.
We have to limit. That's been killing us these
Also,
last two games.
this is a stat I wanted to pull out that kind of is like very much a problem. Is it basically shows Alabama's problem this year is defense is always on the field, right? So
Yep.
Vanderbilt in the second half of Georgia and then all of South Carolina too, Alabama's defense is on the field because why? Because they're getting penalties on third down. They're giving
Yep.
up third downs. Alabama is pretty good. Like I looked at the stats against the run against South Carolina and Vanderbilt and Georgia. It's not like any of those teams were gashing Alabama. You look at the stats, it's 3 yards to carry. You can live with that. The problem
Yeah.
is
Penalties.
you're giving up consistently 200, 230 yards passing and key touchdown shots on like third and fourth down. Penalties, there's been back-to-back weeks now. Alabama has had to me terrible calls, terrible. And I think anybody would agree that
Yep.
when they graze the quarterback's helmet, like when they're trying to like bat the ball down or tackle and it just grazes and then that's a roughing the passer call or unnecessary roughness. I'm sorry, but like if they,
That's
like
not.
it's not a flag. We grew up in the Ray Lewis era and Bryant Urlacher and Cushing and all these Himothy's, and now you can't even touch the quarterback. I'm not
Can't
making
even touch.
excuses for Bama, but there's 2 times that you can count. The Alabama's got stops. They're going to force a punt or force a field goal, and then
Yep.
that happens. Or then somebody is offsides on offense, or somebody is holding, or whatever. They limit the penalties. They get the 2 wide receivers back. Kendrick Law is a great blocker. He's a threat from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could get going. Kobe Prentice is a good receiver. Alabama's got to get the pressure rate up even
Got to.
more, even though they've been doing it. But now it's time to finish, get the sack, and that's to me the story of the game because they can affect Nico. I think Alabama's secondary is going to be okay because Squirrel White to me is good, but he's not like an elite wide receiver. They got decent weapons, but the running back Sampson is the issue. So
Yeah, and I want to say this one name. This guy James Pierce Jr.
yeah,
He's a beast. I mean, we got to be able to let Milroe cook.
yeah.
We
The
got
problem
to.
the problem is like our right tackle Elijah Pritchett, he's given up a few sacks, a few
Yeah.
big crucial moments in the game. That Vanderbilt sack where they stripped Jalen and got the ball back and pretty much iced it away was all because he whiffed. So watch out for him against Pierce. They're gonna have to chip him. They're gonna have to figure out how to slide the protection. Jalen's got to be locked in on that. But also Alabama has to be able to run the ball. They cannot get the
We
running
got
backs going enough. They're relying too much on the passing game and Jalen Miller to run the ball. So it's like to me, that's you gotta get Jam Miller and Justice Haynes going early. So
You got to get them going. You
because
have
you got to
to.
sustain drives. You have to.
Exactly.
Because guess what? If Alabama's only going 3 and out or taking a long shot touchdown, your defense is on the field all the time, and they can't get a
Oh,
stop. To me, Bama is okay. All they have to do is just learn how to stop people on third down, fourth
yep.
down, and then on offense, help your defense out by making the drive last more than 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do. So
That's it.
I'm not in panic mode on Alabama. I do think there's context around this like situation that they're in. Obviously, they lost 30 people in the portal. They got a new coach. They had a high against Georgia. They kind of slept walk against Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt played great. They just played a great game. And Alabama still scored 35 points in 18 minutes. That's all you can ask your offense, but their defense couldn't get off the field. South Carolina game was a little weird. It was different. They had a huge situation before halftime that screwed up that whole game. So to me, there's a couple things you can fix, and I think Alabama could get back on track. And this is the game to do it. So
This is the
you got to turn your season around.
perfect
Right
game
here.
to do it. Perfect game to do
It's
it.
a rivalry. Alabama hates Tennessee. Tennessee hates Bama. So somebody's smoking that cigar, smoking that pack after the game. And hopefully it's Bama.
Hopefully, Bama.
All right. There's not a lot of great games. I mean, there are some sleeper games. I think Auburn and Missouri could be interesting, but it's
Yeah.
Missouri. Missouri's home. They're off a bye, I think. Or maybe they're not. But anyways, they're going to be able to beat Auburn, I think. No offense. They
Yep.
should be able to
No,
keep
none
going.
taken, man. I
So
think
that
they are
means
too.
Cody, that Missouri will probably have one loss only going into the Bama game next week, and then we'll see what Bama does.
Yep.
But that could be a one-loss matchup for both teams. We thought maybe they'd both be undefeated, but that's not the case. Miami and Louisville could be interesting, but I do think Miami gets it done just because we see how good Cam Ward is. Man, he's throwing 350 plus yards a game, so he's gonna
He's
keep
ridiculous,
doing
dude.
it. He's gonna keep doing it. Another interesting game I think is Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. I think that's a
I
big
was
game.
about to say that.
Tech. Haynes King and Jamal Haynes at home against a Notre Dame team that's pretty susceptible. They could lose. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and take Georgia Tech in that game. I really am.
I am too. I like Georgia Tech winning that game, especially at home. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna. Yeah, I think they're gonna score a
Michigan,
lot.
Michigan, Illinois is a battle of the old school bruisers.
Dude, give me Illinois. Give me Illinois.
Give me Illinois too.
Looking like Notre Dame back there.
Yeah, you like
And I
Illinois?
kind of
Yeah.
like Tennessee.
What?
We know who you like, man.
I'm just joshing you.
To me, though, a game that could be the best game of the whole week is LSU at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Massive rivalry game. Arkansas just beat Tennessee. They're at home or they beat Tennessee. LSU just coming off of a huge win against Ole Miss. And you know what? Give me the Razorbacks.
Give me the Razorbacks.
Give me the Razorbacks. Give me Taylor Green, Bobby Petrino. Give me their running back. That run game, the dual threat ability will scare LSU to death.
Dude.
And I think Arkansas's got enough to get it done. They got enough.
They got enough. I think they got too much offense. I think their offense is really good.
Arkansas and Vandy are the sneakiest teams of all time.
And South Carolina.
Yeah.
All three. Those three are the sleepers of this year.
Huge.
Especially Vandy.
Man. But Pavia just shows that sometimes all you need is a quarterback.
All you need is a quarterback and a good coach.
All right.
No, but I like Arkansas, man. Arkansas is good.
We're excited for college football, but we're going to talk about NFL now.
Oh, it's time to get down.
It's time to get Seth back involved.
To the business.
Seth's awake now.
I've been sleeping over here.
All right. So thank you guys for making it to this NFL segment, obviously. Presented by, no, I'm just kidding. Hopefully one day.
Wow, that would be so lit.
Yeah.
Presented by Hard Rock. Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet. Yeah,
Hard Rock Bet sponsor us.
No free promo out here, guys.
Nope. Fuck Hard Rock. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys.
We love you guys.
We love you. Yep. I donate to you all the time. You should help us out.
Yeah, we're donating to y'all a lot. I've been running y'all's pockets the last 3 days.
Yeah, my boy's been hiding the locks from us. Tell me how y'all feel about that in the comments.
You gotta pay for
hiding the locks.
You gotta pay for the locks over here.
Tell me if your boy would make you pay for the locks. Run a poll.
I'm charging.
Somebody run a poll.
$1.99 per lock.
$1.99 per lock.
I'm like the Phantom tax.
The Phantom tax.
But it's for the Hard Rock.
If I just bring some food over every week for the locks.
Let me get that new chicken Big Mac.
Let me get the chicken bake.
Let me get that double chunk chocolate cookie.
Oh, I know if I give him my boy that double chunk chocolate cookie, he giving me all the locks.
I tried that for the first time during like the hurricane. Like we were going to get some supplies, and I'm like, let me get this double chunk chocolate. And I got it, bro. That shit was so good.
Was it so good?
Probably the biggest cookie and the most just like it came out like from like a little cartoon. That's what it looked like.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to go.
You gotta go, dude. We'll make a Costco run and get a chicken bacon.
But this Sunday when we're all pulled up for the fantasy,
we'll make a TikTok and post it on Muffed.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Oh my god! Did you see? Speaking of that, did you see Quinn Ewers, bro? When he scored the touchdown against Oklahoma, he hit the we bring the boom.
I didn't see it.
He hit that bit in the end zone.
Oh, dude, he's my idol now.
Bro,
Quinn Ewers for Heisman.
Dude, I'm telling you, Big Justice and Big AJ talked about him on TikTok, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
They said, Quinn Ewers, you could be a giant.
I feel like you know who we haven't talked about who's definitely winning the Heisman before we get to this NFL segment?
I already know.
Boise State running back.
Ashton Genty.
That dude is unreal.
No pun intended, but he's running away with it.
No,
Yeah.
no cap. No, actually, no cap.
Like for real.
My
And
first pick.
he might be running all the way to the playoffs.
Is he running to his ass to the NFL draft after this year?
Yeah, but
Oh,
guess what?
yeah.
Guess what, sir? He's
Huh.
about to set the all-time record of college football rushing, and it's gonna be crazy because it will break Barry Sanders' record if he does.
What the
Which
Yeah.
is like the craziest thing that ever happened. So
Yo, dude, first pick next year. I wonder how many people are gonna take him over like CD or
Everybody.
CMC.
they're in our sleeper like dynasty.
Oh,
Caleb,
dude,
Caleb's already saying he wants him so bad.
I'm about to drop all my players
Yeah,
and just go for the lowest
Ashton.
points projected.
yeah. So he's
What you
going.
think I've been doing?
Yeah, we can tell, man. He's currently
dude.
halfway through the season. Looks like a regular season stat line: 1,248 yards, 17 tutties.
That's a full season for somebody.
That is a full NFL
Bro,
season right
he
there.
averages 10 yards a rush. He's getting a first down every time he gets the ball.
What
That's
the?
insane.
I mean, they can't be. They're Boise State, so they're not playing like crazy
Yeah, but
good
At the
defenses.
end of the day, he did it against Oregon on the road, and they almost won that game.
Y'all see how he was standing up in the backfield?
Yeah.
That
Oh
man
yeah,
said-
bro, the man.
That man said,
The man's ready for the rock.
Bro, he just stands back there like this. And just
Are
gets
we
the
all
ball.
doing it? Are we all?
Dude, this is the Ashton Genty pose.
Ashton Genty pose.
Moment of silence for Ashton Genty. Or actually, moment of silence for everybody playing against Ashton Genty. That's literally it.
That's
Somebody
insane,
clip
boy.
that. Oh god.
We just hit the Ashton Genty.
Dude, honestly, that needs to be the new Selly for like
That needs to be the new
Just standing
Sally.
up.
just standing.
Just don't even move.
Like, but like his like boys come in, like his like offensive line comes in and like sets a little
Sets
line,
the
like,
line?
and gets down
Yeah.
in the end zone, and he's just like, I want to make that a thing. He needs to.
That
make
would
that a
be
thing.
perfect.
He
I need that new
posted.
Sally.
He posted something
That's
on
awesome.
Instagram. His Instagram caption was so fire the other day. Let me pull that up before we go into this. He said, "Oh, here he goes. He goes. He makes a post, and it's literally. First of all, love the first picture. Hold on, you're gonna geek at this, guys. Literally, the first picture is him standing up in the backfield." And then the caption says, "You can't kill the boogeyman." Hashtag Heisman with number 2 in the middle because he's number 2. And then look at the next picture.
Michael Myers.
Bro,
What the fuck?
he's
I didn't
actually
even put
him.
that together, dude. That's why he be doing that.
Yeah, he just be standing like the boogeyman, like Michael Myers in the backfield.
Wow, that
He's
man,
cold,
that
dude.
man, that
He's
man is
crazy.
cold.
I swear,
What
he's my
the
favorite. He's
fuck?
my favorite
Heisman.
player in the league right now.
Give him the Heisman.
Please give
Give
him
it
the
to him.
Heisman. I
Give
want
it
to
to
see
him,
him in the
man.
Heisman house.
Wait, his last picture. He's just standing there, menacing.
Menacingly.
This dude's a hilarious guy. Love Ashton
He's one of the
Genty, man.
boys.
I
He's
wonder
one of
where
the
he's gonna
boys.
go.
He needs to go to the Cowboys. That's where.
Oh my God, the
You know-
Cowboys.
Jerry Jones gonna be loving that.
Jerry
Oh.
Jones gonna slop him up.
Oh.
All righty, folks. That's it for the show this week. Jerry Jones, what a guy.
Jerry Jones. Jerry
Jerry
Jones.
Jerry Jones. All right.
Wait, no,
We
wait,
gotta
no,
chill
I
out.
can't
We gotta
say
chill
it.
out. Why to
I
cut that
can't
out?
No,
No,
we can't
no.
cut that out.
No. I'm saying whatever you were about to say. We have to cut
Yeah,
that.
no, we would have had to cut that one out.
All right, let's get back on track here, folks. All right.
Yep.
So what is it now? Week 7?
Week 6.
Oh, we're week
recap.
6 recap. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So quickly, week 6, 49ers Thursday night. They beat Seahawks 36-24 on the road. 49ers
I hate the
are-
49ers.
They're now back in first. They're tied with the Seahawks, but I guess not tied because they have the tiebreaker. Ravens.
Brandon Ayuk will not be in my lineup until he has 3 games above double digits again.
Literally.
I put him in after that week. Should have left
yeah.
him on the bench.
Should have, man. Ravens beat the Commanders in a great game, 30-23.
That
I
was a good
think
game.
everybody is now realizing that the Commanders are legit.
I think the Commanders could
They
make a
are.
playoff
They're
push.
They're gonna. Well, the one thing that sucks is that they just lost Jonathan Allen, their star defensive lineman
Yeah.
for the season.
But
But they'll be all
They're
right.
That's
gonna
gonna
have
hurt
to
'em.
score more on offense.
Right. and they almost
And they
beat,
can.
They almost beat the Ravens on the road. So
Yeah. If you have the
Pat-
Terry, if you
hey,
have the Terry Jaden Daniels stack
shout out Brett.
after this season, shout out Brett.
Yeah.
You're cooking.
You're cooking, man. Great trade from Brett. He sent Gibbs to Griffin for Terry, basically.
Wow.
Kind of paid off, I'd say.
Definitely paid off.
Packers beat the Cardinals 34-13. Packers are looking a little bit better now. They got a home game this week again, so it's a big one against Houston.
Shout out to that guy in the TikTok comments.
Yeah, shout out to that guy, man. Blazing the Packers. Bucks dropped 51 on the Saints.
Oh, that was
51 to
dirty.
27. It was a little crazy back
That's
and forth for a
insane.
minute, but they pulled
It
away.
was.
And then Lions did the same thing but way
Dude.
worse to the Cowboys.
Oh, me
47
and
to 9.
Hayden were at this place watching the games, and there was this one Cowboys fan, and he was getting dogged the whole time.
Everybody
It was so funny.
Dude,
That
it was
poor
really
man.
bad. He was just
Poor
sitting there.
guy.
He was just sitting there with his drink like this.
Bro, there was one point when the Lions scored another tutty, and it was like 30-something to 7, and he just didn't even flinch. He
Yeah.
had his glasses on. He was just standing there watching it.
Dude, and
was
his
just like
his
this.
boys were there. Like you could tell his boys are not Cowboys fans, and they were just like, "Go Cowboys!" Who was that? Is that Diggs? Diggs again? And then it would be funny because like me and Seth and Caleb were watching it on like the TV that was ahead of the one he was watching, and so we would see him like get scored on, and then we'd go.
We
like,
turn around
and like watch
wait
his
on his
reaction, and he would just be like,
Dude, it's like that. It's like that meme of Homelander where he's just in the theater, just looking
Literally.
at the screen. It's just like,
that is literally the
his friends are
meme
like
for that.
they're like in the bay like hitting like golf balls, and they're yelling at him like, "Are you wearing an Ezekiel Elliott jersey?" It's like number 15 Zeke, like the new jersey.
The
not
new
the old
one is
I'm like,
ugly.
it's bad.
Ugly.
bro.
Get it
Ugly.
off.
Get
You
it
can't be
off.
pulling up with that.
no,
Uh-uh.
you gotta have the Promsy.
You're gonna have to pull up with the
You're gonna
Boise
need that
State jersey.
Ashton Genty
Uh,
number 2.
yeah.
That's what he
Yeah,
needs.
number
Pull up
2,
with that
Ashton
Ashton
Genty.
jersey.
Yeah, that's crazy though. And then but now the Lions, man, huge loss to Aiden
Huge.
Hutchinson.
Oh,
for
I
the
hated
whole
to hear
game,
it.
bro.
Rest in peace, bro.
Snapped his leg so hard you could hear it on the broadcast.
Oh, dude, it was awful, bro. It was just hanging.
Just when he basically whipped it around some other like his lineman's leg, and just like,
Dude,
terrible. Man.
that's
He was
such a huge loss, bro. He was having a career
Yeah.
year.
leading
he was.
leading the league in sacks.
Yeah, that's a damn shame, bro.
They're now
No,
saying
he'll be back with a vengeance.
Oh,
He'll be back
100%.
with a vengeance.
Yeah, he will be, man. They're
Be
their
scared when
fans-
that man comes back.
Dude,
Mhm.
I would be. Their fans want a new pass rusher though, so we'll see what they do before the trade deadline.
Wow.
Bills beat the Jets 23-20. A couple things about that.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest Hail Mary thrower of all time.
Yep.
Greatest greatest guy to do that. They got Devontae Adams the next day.
Yeah.
So,
You know who?
and the Bills got Amari Cooper.
You know who that was crazy. They both like
They said,
had that battle, and then they were like,
band.
"We going band for band right there." And then I said, "Let me put a band on Ty Johnson."
Yeah.
What did Ty Johnson do?
Nothing. Zero.
Nothing. Didn't do
Zero.
nothing. I got roasted for like 2 days about that.
Jack was so mad at that.
Jack was so pissed. It was so funny, dude. Like I said, man, donate to Hard Rock if y'all wanna
Donate to Hard Rock.
put it in.
Put it in, coach. So
We'll sponsor you.
week 7 slate. To me, the biggest game right now that I'm looking at is Lions at the Vikings.
Lions
Dude,
at
that's gonna be a
Vikings is
cracked game.
huge.
Huge game. Undefeated Vikings against the Lions, who just lost Hutch. What do y'all think? Who do y'all think's winning that one?
Lions.
Really?
I think Lions are winning that.
I think Lions.
Vikings
I'll
came
take
off.
Lions.
Vikings are coming off of a bye. Man, I think
Lions are coming off of a fucking
big
destroying fest.
One thing I will say is that Jordan Addison's back. You know, Justin Jefferson's healthy. They did lose Aaron Jones, but he might be able to play. But I don't think he is. So I'm
But
gonna
who'd they get?
Cam
Cam
Akers.
Akers. That's
Save
crazy.
the day.
He's
But
back.
here's the thing: if the Brian Flores defense for the Vikings gets pressure on Goff, that's a problem. He
That
is
is a
not. He is
problem.
not good under pressure. they're gonna have to run the ball, I think, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that the Lions can get it done. But
Dude, yeah, the Lions have the best duo backfield in the league right now, I think.
yeah, we just can't sleep on the Vikings though, man.
No, the Vikings
No.
are, yeah, I mean, you can't. Sam Darnold's on their way to win MVP.
He's going crazy, man. But I do think the Lions win. I really do.
I hope I hope it's like
They're
a
looking
game like
really,
the Bills and
really
the
good.
Jets where it's like down to the wire, but more scoring.
There'll probably be a lot more scoring. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also
Um.
seeing another big game here.
Yeah. Which one's that?
The Texans and the Packers.
Big game. Huge
Big
game.
game.
Big game.
Who do we think's winning that?
Is the people on the right the
Yeah,
home
the
team?
home team. So Packers are home.
Oh.
Scary.
I honestly could see the Packers pulling away with that one, even though I want the Texans to win.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be really close. Give me
Some-
the Pack just because they're at home though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone's telling me Texans, but one thing I want to say is that in our sleeper pick'em, let's go ahead and throw out the records real quick.
Hold on,
I'm
hold on. Before we do
cool.
that, I just got a notification that said Amari Cooper's Buffalo debut on hold? Question mark.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would play immediately because I mean, think about it. He's got to learn the playbook and chemistry. It's not like Rodgers and Devontae.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like,
yeah, okay.
they
yeah,
just
that
know
makes
each
sense,
other
makes
like
sense.
that. So yeah, I already wasn't even going to start Amari Cooper this week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Something I was gonna say is that we've mentioned before, like when we do these shows, it's on Wednesday. Like right now, it's a Wednesday. We put them out on Thursday, so
Mhm.
we do our best to try to give our predictions. But a lot of times, we're changing our picks because of stuff that happens, whether it's an
yeah.
injury or some kind of change in something, you know.
Or
So
we think somebody's
weather,
out. Yeah, or
something like
weather.
that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, for instance, like we've probably set a lot of teams to win that we changed at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cody hasn't picked every single game because he'd be sleepy and he doesn't go on the app and
He'd be a
actually
little
submit his
sleepy.
picks.
That's why the app
But
called Sleeper should be called Cody.
me and Seth's been pretty good this year, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've definitely, dude. There was
that's
at
been
one point I
good.
was like second to last, so
I-
I've been on the
so
come up.
Our record right now, I'm technically tied in first, 57 and
Mm-hmm.
35, which I'm pretty proud of. But Seth's at 54 and 38.
Mm-hmm.
Really good percentage for us right there, sir.
Take those, yes, sir.
And Cody's down there, and he's catching up. He's just not picking every game, so he's like
No, he's
50
not.
and 50 and
42.
whatever, 42. Yeah. So, Cody, get back in there, man. We need you.
I've got my picks for the week already.
Yeah, I do too. So we'll see how that pans
will.
out here. I mean, what else are we thinking? Big game. I think one of the biggest games is obviously prime time here. Monday night, Ravens at the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a huge one.
Huge game.
That is a huge one.
Points galore.
Points, dude. 9 p.m. I'm gonna be up till 1.
Oh, that's Chargers and Cardinals.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
be up watching that with my eyes barely open.
Alexa, stop. Alexa's trying to talk to me about the Chargers and Cardinals.
She said, "I'll
Alexa
listen."
said,
Melvin.
Alexa said, "I know
Stop.
something. I know something about that."
Dude, we know Elon Musk and AIs, man. They've been taking
Dude,
over
that
recently.
shit is just unreal. I was this when you said something about Alexa, that's immediately what I
Yeah.
thought of.
Dude, I've been getting weak of those memes. It's like me telling my robot to cook me up the most diabolical
Dude.
parlay.
Dude, there's one where I saw me getting pulled over telling my AI robot to hold the switch.
That's crazy.
He said, "You gonna have to take this one for me, cuz."
That's crazy.
We really turning into iRobot.
Yeah.
Dude, no, seriously, bro. That shit's kind of
Hey.
creepy.
Might have
It
to get
is.
him to give me those locks for real.
Hey, nah.
What you know?
I need to get imagine they I mean, I know there's already AI that does that, but like imagine like one that's strictly for
Yeah, just
like
programmed.
just only bets. Like
Yeah,
tells you the
so-
best bets of the day.
Yeah.
Or I guess you
Dude,
could program them to do
They're gonna
that.
have to start. They're gonna have to. Dude, the books are gonna get scared.
Dude, the books are gonna get AI. They're gonna get the AI
They
robot.
probably already got that, man. Think about it. They have all that.
I mean, how else do they know that
Yeah,
somebody's gonna get 25
Yeah, there's
and a half yards and they get
constantly updating-
24?
Yeah, they're updating live stuff. It's AI. I mean, it's just it is what it is.
That's
But,
unreal.
okay, a couple of our teams. Let's go through our teams real quick and we'll be done. Jets, Steelers, Sunday Night Football. Who's winning that? Seth?
I'm scared
Russ
if
is starting.
Devontae pulls up. Are we sure about that?
What it sounds like.
We're not sure about that. Why? Why would we
sounds
just start
like-
Russ out of nowhere?
Because apparently Mike Thomas said you can't lose your job to an injury.
What?
That's what he said.
You can't lose your job to an injury. It's
He's back
unreal.
healthy, so he's now the starter again, is what everybody's saying.
Dude, our offensive line is going to get that man killed.
That's what I'm saying.
The only reason that we've been able to make plays like that is because Justin can literally just on the fly think, okay, yeah, I'm a dip.
Yeah.
Dude, there was
That's-
one play I saw. Dude, I'm starting to hate Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
That man is awful. That man
Yeah.
literally, he was lined up with Max Crosby on the right, and then just looked straight and let Matt Crosby just run right by him. It's like, dude, are we blind? Are we
bro
just
is-
like not giving a fuck?
Bro
Hello?
Bro's literally live betting the Raiders.
Do we even love our team?
No,
What the
bro.
Bro is
I
not
don't know.
dialed.
I don't know,
Not-
dude. But
not
all I
dialed.
know is that Devontae Adams is making his debut and Russ is making his debut. And I don't know what the fuck to think.
That's a little different. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's
All
go.
I know
Let's
is that
make a
two
bet.
goats are coming back out.
Who's more likely to get 2 tutties, Russ or Devontae?
Devontae. If Garrett Wilson is getting 26 targets in 1 week, Devontae's getting 30. Yeah,
He's literally going crazy.
that's
Oh my
unreal,
gosh.
dude.
That's insane.
That is so unreal. That boosts Devontae's stock in
Bro.
fantasy through the roof.
When Rodgers was on McAfee the next day, and you see
Dude, and
Devontae in the
Devontae
back-
Thompson.
Dude,
I was like,
Dude.
you motherfuckers have been scheming this up for weeks.
he already has custom cleats.
Yeah,
Yep.
I bet.
He's got everything.
Dude, it's
he was there the day that they
yeah,
played the
he got
Bills.
traded. Yeah.
He was there the night before. He was already
Yeah.
there.
He knew,
knew.
dude. He knew.
Dude, this man literally in Las Vegas actually had a Taco Bell in his house
No way.
for the commercials and
Oh, for the commercials, yeah.
and they're listing it on like just online for selling the house, and it's like in the thing it's like Taco Bell.
No
Taco Bell.
way.
It's crazy.
That's
I don't know if it's
so lit.
I don't know if it's like really gonna be a thing, but it's just funny.
That's
so
crazy.
Gotta get a
Falcons-
big uns in there.
Imagine they just give it to like an offensive lineman. They're just like,
Oh,
"Here."
he grubbed
the whole
it.
offensive line for the Raiders.
That boy eating the house out.
Oh my god. Seahawks and Falcons. Falcons are on a
Falcons.
3-game win streak.
Falcons are looking good, dude.
I'm a little nervy though because we can't get sacks. 5 sacks on the season.
Yeah, that's not good.
But I did see their right tackle for the Seahawks is giving up a lot of pressures. So I'm thinking the Falcons can get it.
Oh.
Either way, a bird's winning this game. That's all.
A bird is
What I'm
winning this
saying.
game.
Falcons.
Falcons. Give me
Give me
Falcons.
the Seahawks.
Oh shit.
It's gonna low key be a shootout. Not gonna lie.
I
Just
hope
because
so.
Kenneth Walker is.
Do I start Darnell Mooney?
Yes.
Do I start him over J-Mo against the Vikings?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, because Darnell Mooney gets way more targets than JMO, and the
That is true.
Seahawks secondary is not that good. Falcons are home.
Yeah,
JMO's
they're
on the
11. They're
road.
ranked 11th, and the
Yeah,
Vikings
don't-
are like 28.
Wouldn't even lose sleep over that one, sir. Mooney could get 2 tutties. Like he's that guy.
Yeah.
He's
Do I
that guy.
bench Sam Laporta for
Oh.
Isaiah Likely?
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know, dude.
Because
Anyway,
the Bucks are actually not that great against tight ends. We saw Kyle Pitts had a great
Mm.
game.
that is
Mhm.
true.
Maybe Likely cooks.
But it's like Mark Andrews kind of getting back in the rhythm a little bit.
But who's the red
So,
zone guy? Likely.
I Likely a little bit.
A little bit. 3
Like.
tutties or something. All right. So Cody, any thoughts on your Titans, man, against the Bills? how's your season looking, man? Is Will Levis still the Mayo man?
Is Will Levis still that guy?
He's never
Let me tell you something about this Titans team.
God.
I can't wait for the first pick.
Are y'all taking Travie Hunter? Patty?
Travie Patty.
I don't care who we take. We could take a janitor and would fix us.
Dude,
could take
honestly,
anybody.
y'all should take Ashton. Just say
Ooh.
fuck it.
No, but like they need a quarterback.
We need a QB.
yeah, you don't need a quarterback if your running back's going for 200.
But they got Tony P.
Dude, who
And
gives a fuck
Tajay
about Tony
Spears.
P?
They don't need a running back.
Trade Tony P.
We
Get him
need
out.
someone who can throw the ball.
Trade
Cody.
Tony P for Russ.
Cody, right now, if y'all are on the
Just kidding,
clock,
don't do that.
number 1 pick, what quarterback are the Titans taking right now?
Right now?
Right now.
Yes. Right. Who are you
Who
thinking?
we got? I know it's just
Cam.
gonna be
Right now, I'm seeing Cam Ward number 1.
Sugar
honestly,
Sanders.
Well, I've been seeing Jalen Milroe shot up.
Mhm.
Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, and
It's because
Shadur.
Colorado's been looking mid.
They've been all right.
They lost to Kansas State.
Kansas State's good though.
But
Kansas State's
come
really
on
good.
now. We're Colorado.
But Colorado's not good. They were not good
Yeah.
last year.
Honestly, out of those,
No.
I'm either picking between.
I know you'd want to
I
see.
know
you'd want to
who
see
I would
Jalen
pick.
on there.
I'm either picking Quinn Ewers or Cam Ward.
I would go Cam Ward. That's what I would
Yeah.
go.
Just because I'd pick Quinn, just because he can really like control the offense, control the game, really get the run game going, but also make them big passing plays.
Yeah.
And I like Cam.
I think Cam is
he
a
can do
dog.
that, but he can also run
Right.
like a deer in a headlight.
Right. I think
Boy.
he's good. I would take him over all the other quarterbacks, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
I'd probably go with Cam Ward, honestly.
So I mean, hey, Calvin Ridley though, he said, "Give me the ball early, because if I'm not involved early, then what are we doing?" Like,
Yeah.
he's
it's
not even
facts,
being a
though.
diva, because Will Levis had 95 yards.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know how to pass the
He
ball.
doesn't throw the ball well. He was never good in college. He got beat out by somebody at Penn State that wasn't even good. Like,
don't correct me if I'm wrong here, but start Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Please. Start Mason Rudolph.
Please.
It's over. The Will Levis experiment's over.
It's over.
Give me the reindeer.
Like, at least let him in for a little bit.
Because you have the offensive pieces.
Dude, yeah, you do. And Mason wasn't looking awful in the Steelers.
I don't think Ridley and D-Hop are washed. I really don't.
No,
I know they're not.
Either.
They just cannot get the ball.
Yeah. Y'all can run the ball too if you could get away from being down and having to throw all game. If y'all were if the script was, oh, we're up by 10 or 7, like we got a way to establish the run game, then y'all are cooking, because that defense, literally last week I looked, the overall defense in the league #1 is the Titans.
Yep. We're cooking. We literally stop everything. We literally have so many like mistakes on offense. It's
should have beat the Colts last week. Y'all could have had a good little momentum going, because y'all just beat the Dolphins, could have beat the Colts. But now
could have had something rolling here.
Now you're going to the Bills and you're getting clapped.
Yeah, we're about to get beat by 50.
Yeah.
But I don't. Oh wait, yeah. But Amari.
But Amari might not play a lot
if he starts, yeah,
or whatever. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, any other games? I don't really think there's anything.
I might have added a little something under there.
Give your fantasy sleeper an overrated. Okay. So a sleeper and an over
or somebody we think that's gonna
boom,
projected high.
Gonna
doom.
All right. Boom and doom. All right.
Boom and doom. So
basically, who's a double chunk chocolate cookie?
That's like if I was to say Saquon's projected 19, I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna doom. I think he's going under that. I don't think he's gonna do that good.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go?
I got my fantasy sleeper.
Oh yeah.
Who's
Oh my god. I know what he's about to say.
You know who it is. We talked about him before we got on there.
Dude.
Mr. Bub Mains. Come on now. Come on, give me some Bubby.
And I just saw the Broncos are going to be without Pat Surtain.
Yeah, they're going to cook. Bub Memes to the moon.
The main man, Bub Mains.
If you got Bub Memes, start him.
I think he scored last week.
15 and a tutty. Had 8 targets.
Wow. I picked him up in the sleeper. I had to.
Well, that's a good scoop, Cody.
All right, Cody.
Thanks, man. I need it.
Are you gonna play him against me, man? And he gonna drop 40?
I'm thinking about it. If his projection needs to go up more.
But you can't even really start him over anybody other than maybe George Pickens.
That's what I was thinking about.
I mean, not a bad idea. I mean, but Russ though, maybe.
Russ.
I mean, I'm just putting out hope.
You just said Russ. With Russ though.
Like, what is that gonna change?
Nothing. It ain't
gonna matter.
It ain't gonna change nothing.
My sleeper of the week, man. Let's see what we got. You know what? Screw it. Since you're going with a player on your team, I'm going with a player on mine. Okay. And give me Tank Bigsby.
Oh, dude, that was gonna be my sleeper.
Okay. There we go.
Little
Auburn guy.
It was gonna be Tank Bigsby or Alexander Madison.
I can see that too.
Low key. I want to do one on my team though. If I was, obviously, it'd probably be J-Mo. This year, or this week, I could just see, dude. The Minnesota is 32nd in the wide receiver defense.
Well, that's crazy.
And JMU averages 14.7, had 16, and then they had a bye, and then had 17. Like
He's been
I
eating.
think,
He's been
and dude,
eating.
he runs so fast. Like you think he's not
You
gonna.
can't cover him.
But I will say though, only 3 targets, 2 targets, and 4 targets.
That's what I'm saying. He's a boomer bust. It's like
He's the deep threat.
yeah. He's a Rashid Shaheed guy.
He
But
is.
he's better.
I
He's
feel
literally
like,
prime Deshaun Jackson.
yeah, that is true.
Well, bust guy. I don't really
Bust.
know. I would say now I'm gonna start looking at y'all's teams.
All right, buddy. Nah, I better not be looking at mine.
I guess. Well,
Oh my God! Wait, Russ really is starting.
yeah,
Wow, Fields is projected 0.
yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Griffin's got to get him out the
Griffin,
lineup.
yeah, Griffin better pick up a quarterback.
Well, I don't really know. I would say.
Wait, should I
Man,
pick up Russ? Just
you
so Griff
could.
can.
Yeah, you better. You
I'm
better
gonna do it.
You better do it, sir.
I'm gonna do it just to fuck with him.
I really don't know who's gonna bust this week. I mean, I would say maybe give me somebody like, man, it's gonna be crazy, but give me it's not even that crazy. Give me Patrick Mahomes to have a bust week against the Niners.
Wow.
Not a good season
Replay
for
of the
him.
Super Bowl. Yeah, I agree.
At the Niners. Niners
At
get
the
the dub.
Niners,
We didn't even
yeah.
talk about that game.
Yeah, wait. Why is
Rematch
that
of the
game
Super
even
Bowl.
on here? Oh
It
wait,
is.
yeah, it is.
425. All right, real quick before we end, who's winning the rematch of the Super Bowl? Let's get back to business.
That's so funny.
I got the Niners.
We're like, yeah, the biggest game right here is looking like the Lions and the Vikings.
Well, it's
And
kind of
we've-
like the Chiefs have been kind of like whatever, and then
Yeah. I
the
mean, the
Niners
Chiefs are
3-3.
undefeated.
Yeah, but it's like, who are they really like? They're not really doing anything crazy.
Yeah, that's true. But that's just crazy that we just like
Yeah,
they're just like
it is so
Chiefs,
funny. Chiefs,
49ers.
Niners just been in the Super Bowl like a lot recently, but it's okay. I think Niners get it done though because they are at home. They got the more complete roster, and Chiefs are just down players, man. They don't got Pacheco. They don't got Rasheed Rice or Hollywood.
I like that. Yeah,
Cody,
I like the
what you
Niners
think?
winning.
Niners or
Yeah.
Chiefs?
I think the Niners pull it out in a close one.
All right, we're all the Niners then.
Yeah, I like the Niners.
Yeah, so my bust is Mahomes. I don't think he's gonna have a good game.
Bust is Mahomes. My bust might be Brees Hall
Ooh, against the Steelers.
against the Steelers. Yeah,
I could see that. Not a bad pick, sir.
not a bad pick.
You got a bust, Cody?
I'm still looking.
Oh, okay. Well, while Cody's looking, let's just let's think about who right now would you say is the MVP, Seth, of the NFL? A lot of people are saying Lamar's getting the third MVP. A lot
Dude,
of people
I'm not gonna
saying
lie.
Josh Allen.
I'm gonna get my top 3 right here.
All right, top 3
It's-
MVPs.
Top 3 is, and 2 of them are on the same team.
Okay.
Let me start with number 1. As I said earlier, Sam Darnold, if he keeps going, doing what he's doing.
Yep.
And then the second would be Lamar as
Okay.
well. And then the third, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Derrick is looking like a new machine. Looked like a freshly oiled specimen.
And I told y'all he was gonna eat.
You did, and I will eat my words there because I did not think.
I'm a Derrick Henry glazer.
You
Yep.
are Derrick Henry Glazer.
And it's paying off.
Go ahead and glaze them donuts.
Yeah. But no, Derrick Henry's on pace to get like 20-something touchdowns.
Yeah.
I told y'all he was getting
He's
20
going
tutties.
crazy. Yeah, I should have known.
2,000 yards could be a thing too.
I just didn't want to know.
I know.
As a Steelers fan.
Dude, the Ravens are looking scared.
And of course the Ravens are going to be in like prime position when they come to us in like a couple more weeks.
That's the thing though, is like y'all are built to stop Derrick Henry.
We are built to stop Derrick Henry, and we did when he was on the Titans.
Yep. And the Ravens don't have the wide
Cody.
receivers. Ravens don't have an elite wide receiver.
Yeah, they don't. Zay Flowers though.
Y'all could beat them.
Zay
Is
Flowers
Russ gonna cook is the question. So.
All right.
Cody, you got a bust, or are we gonna just end it on that?
No, I got a bust.
Okay.
Who's your bust? Please be
My
someone on
bust
Hayden's team.
is
God.
Kirk Cousins.
No way. Why? Because why? There's
Oh, no.
there's literally no reason.
He's
Just
just
got a
being
gut
menace.
feeling.
Dude, do you know how
A
many
gut
Just
feeling.
got a gut feeling.
bro, who do the Seahawks have on defense? Name me a couple of goats.
Oh, we got a couple players. I don't need to know
Yeah,
nobody.
this man just this man don't even know why he picked Kirk. Kirk just threw for 500 yards the last time
Hey,
he was
you know-
home.
He might not even get over 100.
What are you
That boy pulling a Will Levis game.
Uh-huh.
Cody, you're wilding right now.
He gonna throw a couple picks to that Seahawks.
Cody, do you know the Seahawks are allowing 25 points per game?
Hey, they gonna lock up.
They
Do they have a good like one corner or
yeah,
anything?
it's Tariq Woolen. That's about it.
And is he
They
gonna
got-
be on Drake?
Yeah, I would assume.
So Darnell Mooney to the moon.
Yeah. That's what I'm
All
saying.
right, that'll keep my thoughts turning.
Yep.
Let's go Seahawks.
Yeah.
All right.
This guy's a Titans fan.
He is a Titans fan.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the show.
Yep. Yep.
Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining us back after a long hiatus through Hurricane Milton. We'll be back next week and we'll be recapping all the craziness. It's been a wild season.
It has been a while.
Next week
Crazy.
next week will be officially the halfway point for college football. So we're gonna go ahead and give our final predictions on the playoffs and the Heisman and conference champions. So stay tuned for that. And then once we hit the halfway point in a few weeks for NFL, we'll do the same for the awards and the playoff predictions. So
I was actually just looking at our
our predictions.
Our predictions, yeah.
We'll revisit that next week for sure.
Well, yeah, let's do that next week.
It's gonna be interesting. There's one I want to say right now I got wrong. Okay.
What is that?
Yeah.
The Browns. I was so wrong about the Browns. Dude.
Yeah.
But
Fuck
there
both
was a
of you
clip
for that
out
one.
there that said, what if the Browns are a top 5 offense in the league?
I said, but they weren't in there. I
Yeah.
said they might be.
It might be.
They could have been.
Well, Deshaun Watson's horrible.
Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson has more allegations than he does touchdowns since joining the Browns.
That's terrible, dude.
That's how you know
horrible.
you're a chalked franchise.
Something I feel like what else do we say? I mean, there's got to be something we can end on that's pretty crazy for the fans. I mean, what's the team that we're like we got right so far? Because I think I kind of been right about
I mean, the
Bears.
Ravens.
Okay.
The
I was
Ravens
gonna say,
for sure.
I had the Bears in the playoffs and they're looking good.
We did say the Dolphins.
Well, they just lost Tua, like they could honestly get back in it because their division's a little
Dude.
bit, easy right now.
They
Bills,
could
Bills are
trade us
4-2
for Russ and give us Jalen Waddle.
No.
Yes.
They're not gonna give up that.
Why not?
They're not.
They're
gonna-
not.
Let me in there as a GM.
How about y'all can get Odell for Russ?
Dude, that is the worst trade I've ever.
But they're both washed.
Watch this week. We're going for 40.
Okay.
George
Against the
Pickens is
Jets.
gonna have 2 tutties.
What do you mean?
Drop
40
it, clip
40
it,
yards.
ship it. Hey,
40 yards.
he's gonna have 2 tutties. So what can I
Uh-uh.
say?
You gonna
Najee might low key have 2 tutties.
Okay.
He was looking like a beast.
He was
last
looking
week.
like a beast. Put some respect
Took
on
that
Najee.
man's soul.
He did, and he dove
Took
from the
that man's soul.
5. That was crazy.
Took that man's soul. And then
All
said,
right. Shout out to all the fans. Appreciate you guys. Once again, I'm your host, Hayden Haynes. That's Seth Killen and Cody Hart. And this was the Muffed Sports Show. And that's Ashton Genty in the background, the bookie.
Just Genty in the back.
And,
this is the Muffed Sports Show, but
this
ladies
is
and
the-
gentlemen,
I can't even see your head. It's just crazy. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you
Hey.
boys next week, man.
see ya.
See ya.
Peace.